So I posed this question on Twitter a little while back, but I don't think everyone had the best context to give the best answer. The question was, using wrestling terms, are the current Philadelphia 76ers heels or faces? And I would just like to give a shout out to my man Zoe on Twitter for inspiring this idea, so shout out to him, go check him out. Now to the non-wrestling viewers, I know you're thinking, what the hell does that mean? Heel or face? A heel is a wrestler who portrays a villain or a bad guy, and is the antagonist to the protagonist, who are the faces, or the good guys. Now everyone knows that the most memorable wrestlers in history have been heels, that's just a fact. A great heel is someone who the audience can look forward to cheering against week after week. And a good heel will embrace, feed off, and thrive off of the criticism and negativity thrown his way. Now I know everybody's going to be asking, well, what about the Warriors? Everybody hates them. Aren't they the heels of the NBA? Well, no, not really at all, because if they are heels, they're doing a very terrible job at it. I mean, what heel cries on the phone to somebody in the parking lot after losing in the finals to their arch rival? What heel constantly lashes out at the media and feels it necessary to create burner accounts on Twitter in an attempt to switch the narrative? And finally, what heel cries and lashes out to his agent over the phone after making a decision that receives a lot of backlash? A shitty heel. The Warriors are not the heels of the NBA. It is the Philadelphia 76ers, and here's why. Well, first off, any good heel is good on the mic. They can trash talk. And right now, outside of maybe Conor McGregor and Austin DeSanto, is there a better shit talker in sports right now than Joel Embiid? Any obstacle in Joel Embiid's way, he'll simply talk shit about. That's just how he is. And he's even got wrestling roots. He grew up watching it. It's not just in-game trash talk against guys like Hassan Whiteside and Andre Drummond, but even extends it to online trash talk. He'll also regularly trash the place where he just played, which is a classic heel move. On Instagram, he called Milwaukee a shithole after playing there, which is something that in today's WWE a guy by the name of Elias might pull off. Embiid also had beef with NBA analyst and former Fab 5 member Jalen Rose. Rose said his comments in front of a female reporter about being 69% healthy were inappropriate. Now anyone else probably would have apologized, but Embiid doubled down, and when asked again by a different reporter what his health was at, he said 81%, in honor of when Kobe Bryant dropped 81 points on him when he used to play for the Raptors. And finally, heels will do just about anything possible to get a competitive advantage. Something that I'll admit Joel Embiid does do is a lot of flopping. Do you think Rookie of the Year runner-up Donovan Mitchell actually pushed down Embiid on this play? All these reasons are why Embiid is bombarded on the road with negative chants. Fans calling him overrated, despite the fact that they're being blown out by the Sixers. Second example, Jimmy Butler. Potentially one of the most reviled players currently in the league right now. Even when there's nothing to say about Jimmy Butler, the media and NBA Twitter alike will find some shit to make up about him. Nevertheless, Jimmy, much like a heel will do, marches to the beat of his own drum, regardless of what anybody says. He caused chaos in the Timberwolves organization by going after Karl Anthony Towns and Andrew Wiggins based on their work ethic. He never backed down, never apologized, and demanded a trade. Well, he got the trade he wanted, and by doing so, he sent Robert Covington and Dario Saric, the two far more likable players, to cold, miserable Minnesota. Then the final, larger piece of this equation, who somewhat became a heel unwillingly, is Benjamin Simmons. As I said before, heels use everything in their power to get the competitive advantage. So last year, he took on the heel role unwillingly because the fans gave it to him. Many thought that simply being in the league for a second year, despite not actually playing in your first year, disqualified you from being Rookie of the Year. Simmons, the newfound heel, was pitted against Donovan Mitchell. This race was a lot of things. Fair versus unfair, shooter versus non-shooter, first year versus second year, of course, but I think also it was a lot of people basically saying, oh yeah, I watch Jazz basketball, yeah. No, you fucking don't. This race was never close. Fans still cheered against Simmons, even in the Boston series when they cleverly chanted, not a rookie, when he was at the foul line. And it is still commonly joked about on Twitter or on Facebook that he is still in the running for the 2019 Rookie of the Year award. Ha ha ha. Ben never backed down or apologized once, and to this day he still plays with a chip on his shoulder. Even his girlfriend showed up to one of the games with an NWO shirt, arguably the greatest heel faction ever in the history of wrestling. Now, moving on from the players, we go to the fan base. I'm sure there's not a more disliked fan base in the world than Philly fans. In poor, lazy attempts to discredit our love for the team, they'll bring up incidents that happened in the 60s and 70s. But most Philly fans will sum up how they feel in the classic line, "No one likes us, so we don't care." But if we are the heels, then who are the faces? Well, that's easy. The media, and pretty much any non-believer of the process since the beginning. And I'm looking at you, Mr. Adam Silver. Despite being loved across the country by the player, media, fans, and even other big-time sports organizations, namely the NFL, Philly fans hate Adam Silver. For it was Silver who caved from the pressure from other owners, purely a business decision, and imposed the disastrous Colangelo family on the Sixers, replacing beloved general manager Sam Hinkie. Sam Hinkie may just have been the ultimate heel. He took advantage of the NBA draft rules in order for the Sixers to get high picks, so much so that Adam Silver thought they needed to be changed, and they have changed since Hinkie stepped down. Silver's a war criminal. Now for some rapid-fire heel comparison. TJ McConnell's scrappy attitude and smaller stature reminds me of Spike Dudley. Breaking up the happy family of the Clippers by bringing Boban, Mike Scott, and Tobias Harris to Philly is an all-time heel move by Elton Brand. Also, Boban kinda reminds me of the Great Khali and Andre the Giant. Joel Embiid is a modern-day Kevin Nash. Ben Simmons is a modern-day Randy Orton. And of course, Jimmy Butler is a modern-day Hollywood Hulk Hogan. And of course, our scrappy bench consisting of guys like Mike Scott remind me of the New Age Outlaws. Alright folks, so there you have it. The Philadelphia 76ers are the new heels of the NBA. Air Baby D, play us off.
Boom, pass it haters, I won't fucking Air Baby and Uno, ready to do damage. Uno dread like the game, putting rappers in the slammer. Keep the grass.